Hello everyone, it's Quenchers here today, and I want to talk about the crossover controversy with Helldivers 2. So first of all, I just want to say that apparently the store is going on rotation, so you will be able to buy this once it's back. So if you don't manage to get it in the 5 days it's available via grinding and stuff, it will be around another time. Now, this is still sort of like a form of FOMO, meaning that you'd have to wait an extended period to get it again, and people kind of get frustrated at that still. So it is kind of still like a form of FOMO, but not as severe as once it's there, it's gone forever kind of one. So that's, it's not as severe, but people can still feel that way and be like, oh, I've got to get it because I'll have to wait for a very long time and I'll be behind everyone kind of thing. So it's still kind of like a form of FOMO, even though they're playing it down and stuff like that. It's still FOMO. And and then I just want to talk about how they could have introduced it as a separate, not like a war bond, but they should just called it a crossover bond or something like that. And then have their own tab within the war bond section. So you have your normal premium war bonds that comes out every time, and then a crossover section where you get your crossovers if it's Killzone, if it's whatever PlayStation IP, Astrobot, you know. Um, I just think it should have really been more thought out, and doing it this way just seems to be a little bit too greedy in my eyes. That it's very expensive to get everything. Yes, you can grind for a few hours to get 1,000 SC super credits, and get the items you want and stuff. But I think a lot of people don't have the time for that. And it did say like, oh, it takes an hour, but I've been testing it out and stuff like that, and it's certainly not an hour because sometimes you get lucky with like your environments, you get a bunch of super credits, but then other times you don't, and it's a bit annoying. And I've personally tested this out because I thought, what are people talking about? I want to know this. And it seems like, yeah, the number slowly ticks up. It just takes a while. That's all. So you can get it in the game. Now, I think the reason why it's leaving a bunch of sour taste for the Killzone thing is because it really should have been a fun thing to have. It should have been put in a fun way, like, hey, this is a crossover band. It's a little bit more expensive, and they should have explained that in the post. I feel like, hey, it's this makes money for the Killzone IP as well as Helldivers, so that's why it's a little bit more premium. It's a little bit more expensive, and we packaged it all in this thing. So 2,000 credits. There you go. And that could have been the thing, but they've kind of like sort of changed the way they're talking about it. Like, oh, if you want, Helldivers to be stable financially and stuff for the future, you've got to buy stuff for it and stuff. So it's definitely doing the live service model, but it just seems like that. I don't know. This kind of talk makes it seem that it's struggling to make money and stuff, and Sony's trying to push it further. I think Sony's trying to influence it more to becoming a money making machine kind of thing, and it's not good. Look for Sony, and for Helldivers to be going, okay, yeah, let's do this. It's not a good thing either, really, to rinsing people of their money. But I understand it in a way. You're a live service, you're a business, you got to make money somehow. And the only way they can kind of fix this is to remove the way, is to, you know, probably make the super credits disappear from the game. So people have to pay to get super credits, and that's what they do. And then it just becomes like a microtransaction thing, even though, they say like, oh, you can earn it in game and stuff. But if they're really struggling how they're going, then they're going to have to make that change, aren't they? And I think people would be okay with that because the game is generally fun. And if it makes them more money and they can produce more content, then yeah, sure, I think people will be up for it. So like putting war bonds out every 2 months or so, and people have to pay money for it to get the stuff, and then you can play more and do more. Of course, then it's like, oh, you've got the issue. It's pay to play, pay to win, and stuff like with stratagems, the war bonds and armors and passives and stuff. So honestly, I think it's like I guess it's not a viable choice of, of a model really if you've got to do it if, if it's really difficult and making money and stuff like that because people can just go out and grind so much super credits to get everything and stuff, then it's not going to work in the long run, isn't it? So I think they really need to rethink the model kind of thing. I think they need to do like downloadable content like they did with the previous games and stuff like that, as every game does, and sort of, hey, you can, download this and you can get this items and stuff like that. Maybe make it even a bigger package kind of thing, like the first premium war bond. Make it a really big package that you pay for, and there you go. As long as it's not like the you know it's not as much as the original game costs and stuff like that. And I think that would work more, I think. It's just, uh, it I don't know if they're being genuine with the like, hey, this doesn't make us, we need to do this to make money and stuff like that, and it's the reason why it's so expensive is to make us money and stuff like that. And if that's, if that's what it feels like that's the first thing they kind of think of when people do say, it's a bit expensive. They're like, well, if you want to keep us doing, keep the game going, then we've got to do this. We've got to figure out a way to make money. So it's like, it's kind of shocking, really, because I'm pretty sure Helldivers has done absolutely phenomenal. So many people have bought it and they played it and they got, yeah, this is great, and it's past the the refund kind of stage kind of thing. I certainly played 2 hours in a blink of an eye went past because I was so enjoying it when it first came out. So I think it's I think they've made a bunch of money. So it's very confusing. It does feel like corporate speak, a little bit disingenuous kind of thing. It's just not a nice tasting feeling of what's going on. I do think they should have packaged the Killzone thing into a war bond and made it, that kind of way, or made it like you've got it's exclusive, so you have to purchase it with actual money. So like make it like 15 quid for the entire set, the weapon and all that stuff. It is like, this is how we're gonna do the war, these kind of things now. The crossovers are like special unique stuff, and if you want to play as those characters within the universe, it has to be a purchase because we're also, licensing the IP from Killzone, so a bit of money goes to the Killzone and as well as us. So it has to be a direct purchase, maybe. I think it should have been that way. And people will be like, oh, it's Killzone, it's kind of thing. Okay, the weapon is basically the same as the Liberator, kind of. There's a new, siege armor. I mean, a dutiful armor, and has a unique passive. That's kind of, do I want that? Do I want to spend 15 quid on that? I would, I think people would have gone, I usually spend 15 quid on like the super credits sometimes. So yeah, I guess this is an all right purchase. That's what I would put, use to buy some credits. And I think it should have been an exterior thing you purchase to download into the game. So it's, that's how a crossover works, it's like external and you can buy it, and then it's like internal, so it crosses the boundary kind of thing, I just think it could have been well worked out a little bit better, and I think people disliked it because of the way it's handled and the inflated prices and stuff like that. So yeah, I think, and I think they really should have kind of like came out to be like this. They have now, of course, but it's still like it's left a lot of confusion with people, and they're like, oh, I don't really like how they've handled this and stuff like that. So I think they really need to work on it. And yeah, so that's my kind of 2 cents. I do want this company to make money and stuff. They just need to think about, I think crossovers should be an external thing that people purchase to go in, so it's like a DLC instead of making it inside the game, and a lot of, just like how it is, it just feels a little bit wrong, I feel. So yeah, that's all from me about the Killzone thing. Let's move on to the Meridia black hole. It seems to be doing some weird stuff. I think the illuminate are going to come from there. I'm hoping that they're going to mess with the bugs and make bug monsters or something like that. And that's how you get the big bugs or or something. I'm really liking what they're doing in the game, and it's just a shame that this Killzone stuff is sort of muddering the water around this great time of the game. So yeah, that's gonna be all from me now. So I'll see you in the next one. Please take care of yourself, like, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.